Hello, fabulous Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of March 2018, looking at life and love. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an amazing month it is. Well, you remember last month we were light on the lunar events? Well, this month the universe is making it up, starting with a full moon, ending with a full moon, and a new moon in between. I'm excited to tell you about it. So let's take it one at a time. As we start the month, right out of the gate, we've got a full moon taking place. Now, this full moon is happening at the very bottom of your sky, the base of your sky, and it is standing across from Neptune, but also speaking in supreme harmony with Saturn. I'm very encouraged by that connection with Saturn in particular, because I feel like there's a real perspective here of the long term and of the big picture, and making decisions and making choices that actually move you towards greater stability. But this is the base of your sky, and it has to do with things like the home that you live in. It has to do with your family of origin, particularly your parents, where that applies. And having a full moon like this in this part of the sky does speak to making some choices and decisions with the longer term perspective in mind, but at the same time being aware of your ideal, being aware of what it is you really want and what it is you're wishing for, what you're willing to work towards, and what it is that you're realizing is not worth working towards anymore. So for some of you, buying, selling, moving, new roommates may very well be highlighted with this energy. For others of you, it may be spending more time with your family, especially, as I said, family of origin may come up at this time as well. But the key here is the choices, the decisions that are moving you towards greater stability, moving you towards really stronger ground right where you are. As we move to the middle of the month, we've got a beautiful new moon taking place. Now, this new moon is happening at the top of your sky. This has to do with things like career, it has to do with life purpose, it has to do with legacy. There are a few interesting things happening here. So one that I love is that this new moon is speaking in supreme harmony with Jupiter, also speaking in harmony with Pluto as well. So lots of very encouraging energy, lots of fortunate energy and optimistic energy with this new moon. But it is also happening very close to Chiron in the sky. And Chiron is not a planet, it is an asteroid, but it is considered a symbol of where it is and that we feel vulnerable is really what it comes down to, where it is that we become aware of where our work is and where our healing is to do. Now, the great thing is by doing the work, we move ourselves towards a more optimistic future, especially around this new moon. And as I look at this, I feel like there very well may be new opportunities that come up for you, whether it is career opportunities, promotion opportunities, whether it is also life purpose oriented opportunities that have to do with aligning purpose with some legacy you're hoping to create, whether personally or professionally. Because of that connection with Chiron, it does tell me that in some way you're having to heal yourself in the process. You're having to affirm your own worthiness, and you're having to move past beyond previous limitations that maybe have been there. But remember, there's a lot of luck, there's a lot of expansion around this new moon, and it certainly will come with new opportunities that ultimately help you to move into your future. As we move towards the end of the month, we've got another full moon happening as we end the month. Now, this full moon, very interesting full moon, I must say. Interesting connections happening here. So, of course, a full moon is when the sun stands across the moon. We've got this full moon also standing across the sky from a retrograde Mercury. And it is also speaking with Mars and Saturn. So this is a type of conversation called a T-square, and it is a conversation of some tension. And as I look at this, and this is happening for you, in a part of the sky that has to do with matters of heart. It has to do with matters of flirtation. It has to do with what the heart truly wants. I think a few things and a few themes are going to be highlighted, of course, having to do with love as among them. If you are someone who is open to meeting someone new, the thing with this particular full moon, I do believe it will highlight matters of flirtation and of love. As much as there is like passion and response desired, and desire as well, there's also a strong signature here of restriction and needing to hold back and some limitation as well. as much as you may want to, go forward, at the same time, you're realizing that you may have to hold back a little bit. So whether that is holding back for professional reasons, whether that is holding back because of you having to look at your own self and any issues of self-worth that may come up. Ultimately, it is very likely that some flirtation at the very end of the month, or even as you're starting next month with this energy being strong, some flirtation ultimately makes you aware of where it is that you feel you really want change to happen, but where it is that you'll have to take a more measured pace to get you towards the love that you desire. If you are just getting to know somebody as well, then this can also be a time where there's a part of you that really feels like you want to know this person more deeply, almost like you want to jump in, but at the same time, you are aware that you've got to take a step back. For those of you in an established bond, this energy can work out in a couple of ways. One, of course, is having to do with what your heart truly wants. Do you have that here with your partner? Is passion a part of what you are getting enough of in your established bond? And where is it that maybe you can work towards the type of future that you desire? Whatever it is that does come up, it doesn't look necessarily that you're ready to make any big sweeping change or big sweeping decisions, but rather it could be that a moment arises that makes you aware of what you're truly feeling. And in that awareness, you're able to then hold back a little bit, step back a little bit, but ultimately know that you will continue to allow this to unfold until you are ready to actually make some sort of decision or some sort of choice. It's almost like wanting change, but then also knowing that you have to wait and see a little bit, especially around these days. I would also say, because Mercury is retrograde in a part of the sky for you, by the time we get to this full moon, will be retrograde in a part of the sky that has to do with friends and groups that you belong to. It is possible that whether it's news from a friend or something that someone that you're friendly with tells you in some way speaks to what's happening with you in love. Now, keep in mind, because Mercury is retrograde, miscommunications, misunderstandings, certainly very possible at this time. So whatever it is and whatever information it is that might come forward, take it with a grain of salt and allow yourself to consider different perspectives. What I love about this month for you is that we've got you reaching to these heights in the middle of the month, but at the same time being positively grounded as well in the early part of the month. You can see your way towards a more optimistic future, and if you trust the journey, you will get there. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm so grateful for it. You can get a video like this every week by logging on to astrofabulous.com or nadiyashah.com. Sign up to be one of my superstars, my cherished superstars. Get expanded exclusive video scopes every week, as well as access to special horoscopes and early access to the monthly horoscopes and so much more. All of this in the superstar space at nadiyashah.com or astrofabulous.com. Well, thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.